Your brain is getting worse. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but slowly, every single day. And the most dangerous part is you don't even notice it. You wake up, go through your routine, check your phone, start your work. Everything feels normal. But if you pause for a moment and think honestly, something has changed. You don't focus like you used to. Your mind feels more scattered. Simple tasks feel heavier than they should, and you can't quite explain why. So you ignore it. You tell yourself it's just stress, or lack of sleep, or maybe just getting older. But what if that's not true? What if the real reason is something you're doing every single day without realizing what it's doing to your brain? Because here's the truth. Your brain is not fixed. It adapts. Every habit, every behavior, every pattern in your life is shaping how your brain functions. And right now, most people are unknowingly training their brain to perform worse. Think about your average day. You wake up and check your phone. Notifications, messages, social media, news. Before your brain has even fully woken up, it's already overloaded. Then throughout the day, you switch between tasks. You check your phone again, you scroll, you jump between tabs, apps, conversations. It feels normal, but from your brain's perspective, it's chaos. Your brain is constantly switching, constantly reacting, constantly processing, and this comes at a cost. Because your brain isn't designed for constant input. It needs two things to function at a high level: deep focus and real recovery. But today, most people are getting neither. And over time, this starts to change how your brain works. Your attention span begins to shrink. Your ability to think deeply fades. You become more reactive and less intentional. And here's the part that makes this dangerous. It happens slowly, so you don't notice the decline. You just adapt to a lower level of performance and start believing this is normal. But it's not. Your brain is simply adapting to an environment of constant stimulation, and the more stimulation you consume, the worse it gets. Because your brain adjusts its baseline. What once felt engaging now feels average. What once felt normal now feels boring. So you need more stimulation just to feel the same level of interest, more scrolling, more content, more distraction. And this creates a loop. You feel mentally tired, so you look for stimulation. That stimulation overloads your brain, so your focus gets worse. Then you feel even more tired, so you escape into more stimulation. And the cycle repeats. And here's something even more important. This constant stimulation doesn't just reduce your focus. It changes how your brain experiences effort. Tasks that used to feel normal now feel heavy. Even starting becomes difficult. Not because the task is hard, but because your brain has become sensitive to anything that doesn't provide instant reward. This is why you procrastinate. Not because you're avoiding work, but because your brain is trying to avoid discomfort. And modern stimulation has made that discomfort stronger than ever. Now think about this. When was the last time you sat without your phone, without music, without background noise, just alone with your thoughts? For most people, that feels uncomfortable, almost unnatural. But that discomfort is actually a signal. It means your brain has lost its tolerance for stillness. And without stillness, your brain never fully resets. Now here's where most people go wrong. They try to fix this with discipline. They force themselves to work harder. They push through the resistance. But the problem isn't effort. It's overload. You can't force a tired, overstimulated brain to perform better. You have to change the environment that's exhausting it. And this is where everything starts to shift. The solution is not doing more. It's doing less. Less stimulation, less noise, less constant input. You need to give your brain space to recover. Because recovery is where performance comes from. Simple changes can make a massive difference. Limiting short-form content, reducing notifications, spending time without your phone, allowing your brain to be bored again. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. Your brain will crave stimulation. It will feel restless, distracted, even irritated. But that's not a bad sign. That's a reset. That's your brain slowly returning to its natural state. And over time, your focus improves, your thoughts become clearer, your mental energy stabilizes, and things that once felt difficult start to feel easier again. Not because you became more disciplined, but because your brain is finally working the way it's supposed to. Because at the end of the day, you're not lazy. You're not broken. You're just overloaded. And once you fix that, everything changes. If this made you think differently about your focus, subscribe, because every week we break down how modern habits are affecting your brain, your performance, and your long-term potential. And tell me in the comments, have you noticed your focus getting worse over time? Because the answer might explain more than you think. Until next time, stay sharp.